Now, that's probably the last thing I want you to be able to make sure before you leave. I want to talk about EQing just for a minute, just to kind of explain what it does and how it functions. And I'll be glad to come over and do classes on EQing. It's almost, we've got to have people on stage to actually do that and because it's a skill. What EQing does, there are certain things in people's voices that are obnoxious. I know, for example, there are some women who, when they go from their chest voice to their head voice, there's a lilt in their voice that they actually get loud. So it sounds like almost like a pop. Well, that's a frequency. That's just the nature of their voice. When guys go from their chest voice to the head voice, sometimes it'll get a little nasally. And there'll be frequencies, certain things about your voice or the input you may want to adjust. Now, what an EQ or equalizer does, it lets you find those frequencies and take them out a little bit. So that when the lady goes la 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 la, and then she goes into her head voice and has that pop when she hits that frequency, you actually notch it, so if she hits it, it's not as loud as everything else on each side of it. And so that's what EQing does. It allows you to kind of shape individual sound. This board gives you 4 little notches or 4 things that, so if my voice, and I'm going to, the easiest way is to show you on my phone. I'm going to show you an RTA so you can see how sound actually, let's see. Okay, now, this is what is called an RTA, a real-time analyzer. So it's taking my voice, and those are 31 slices from 20 hertz to 20K. And my voice is not a single frequency. It's all those different frequencies. So let's say, for example, when I go from my head voice, and so I've got about a 500, at 500, I have that little notch. And I don't want it to be there. I want it to be smoother. I can go over here, I select that middle EQ, and I actually can put a little notch in it so that when I hit that 500 hertz, it knocks it out. And so it's not as prevalent. Also with some like pulpit microphones, they, with feedback within the room, I can roll off the top end of that, the frequency band and get more gain out of that microphone because high frequency travels very fast, and especially with, now we don't have it nearly as much now as you did have because of the way we've got the speakers aimed and placed. But if I had a problem with feedback, then I can roll off that upper end so that it's not bouncing around as much.
My question is whether this system can automatically do this.
There are
manually adjust.
You have to manually adjust. There are products that do auto EQing. They are quite expensive.
So
are you supposed to demo?
So you can buy what app does that?
Okay.
I like the app.
Okay, well, this okay.
I want that app.
Okay, well, look, it's really good whether you have an Android or an iPad. Now, you probably don't want this one. This is like $75 app.
No, I don't need that.
They've got like an $8 app.
Is it 99 cents?
And I've got different ones I can actually show you. What it does, though, it lets me see the frequencies, and it allows me to kind of get an idea of where my problem spots are. I'll be honest, the best people in this business are not people who magically, they've got these little things set. I've got it on my iPad. And when I'm running sound, I have it sitting there. I've got a little microphone that I lay up by my mixer, and it's listening to the room. And so when I look over and I see a frequency that's bumping, and I go, there it is, and then I adjust it.
What's a good pattern
So it's one that bumps
Which
the
one?
top?
I'm sorry.
What's a good pattern? What's
Well,
the optimal one?
Well, you want it to be as flat. Well, it's not going to be flat because my voice, you don't want me to sound monotone. That's what you want is you want to look at things that are going to be obnoxiously out of the slope of things. Because see, if someone else talked, their slope is not gonna look like that. So someone else talk. Okay, now do that again.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, and so that frequency that on her voice was like, it's between 1K and 2K. So what I would do is I would notch that on the board so that when she hit that, it was a little less than everything else on both sides of it.
And you can save, in this board, you can actually save and you'll name them different people.
So if I went through, if we had time, and here's how you can do it, we do this with some churches
How
where
many they can save it?
there's like 250.
Okay, so that means that every person can go through this process. You can adjust for each person.
You could come in and have all your singers, one at a time, sing, and you could basically EQ it, save it in the library, so that if they were on different channels, you just pull that up and load it into that channel for that
You
Sunday.
could.
You
It
could.
sounds like something we'll let Roger do.
You'll grow into it. This is not the place for it.
Why
I
don't we
really
do
want.
an auction and the Roger can take everything in and everybody over there, 250 people of the church.
I will be glad on
I'm
these
joking.
apps, if I can email you a list of, but there are several that are really, they do a nice job of giving you a visual to kind of see what's going on, okay?